Okay. Welcome in. Welcome on in. Starting a new game. Bushy challenge. I'm calling it the Bushy challenge. I don't know what Bushy actually calls it. It's the all weapons challenge, I think. I call it the Bushy challenge. It's easier. Tree spear. Tree spear is my first weapon. Tree spear. Wheel of weapons. Okay. Okay. What actually, hold on, sorry. What stats do I need to get for that? Free spear. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be a little weird. I haven't actually used this weapon. Strength, faith, dex, holy damage. Most effective for those who live with death. So this is gonna be like, it's not a last rites kind of thing. It boosts just this weapon, I think. Sacred Order, yeah. I don't think this is in... What does Sacred Order do? On Faith builds, one could double up with the Faith scaling, Blood Flame Blade, Electrify Armament. Electrify Armament? Faith scaling? And Order's Blade. I could use... Can be buffed with magic and consumables. Interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting. Interesting. So... Tree Spear can be upgraded by using smithing stones. This is not a somber stone? I thought for sure this was a somber weapon. This is one of those rare smithing ones where I can't infuse it with an ash of ore, which means it's basically somber. Okay, 15 strength, 22 dex, 18 faith. What do I want to do? I think I want to split the dex and faith. Or I'm thinking, no, because it's based on faith scaling. How does that work? Hold on, let me Google this real quick. So, how does electrify armament scale? Electrify armament incantation adds flat lightning damage to your weapon equal to 75% of the faith-based incantation scaling of your sacred seal. It does not scale with weapon stats. And the bonus is not boosted by the Gravelstone seal. Okay? That makes sense because that's not a... What's it called? Duration is 90 seconds. So what if I am using Tree Spear and have 60, no, let's see, 40 faith. Weapon level 12. At 40 faith plus 12 level weapon level, your exact scaling breakdown. So Godslayer's Seal multiplying 165 by 75% scaling modifier adds 123 to 124 lightning damage. That's not bad. Oh, I'm gonna do Faith. Now that I'm thinking about it, this would be sick. Okay, I'll use Faith. I'll use Faith as my main stat, because then I could do Blood Flame Blade and Electrify Armament if I need to. Both of those scale with the scaling of my seal, and the higher the Faith I get, I could use the Erd Tree Seal, and that has the highest. Oh, this is gonna be sick. Okay, Tree Spirit is Faith. Let's see, 15 strength. What? Yes, 15 strength, 22 dex, 18 faith. 15, 22, 18. So 15 and 22, then everything goes into faith. Sounds like fun. And then for everything else, for like... For everything else... What? I'll use holy damage, right? And most of the big bosses are holy resistant. And that's why I use like Blood Flame Blade or Electrify Armament. Electrify Armament would be really good for like most things, and just like not dragons. Or the like the electric cat statue guys. That's gonna be sick. And then I could probably use Blood Flame Blade against... No. I'm gonna say against Moog, but I think he's resistant to fire. So Electrify Armament would probably be best to just to use it. And I think I could get that by getting the I think I get that in Liurnia. I get both of those in Liurnia. I get all three of those in Liurnia. This first video is gonna be... I'm gonna probably just do this. Just... What's the just raw video it. Just raw dog in my video. Okay, so Bushy, one of my favorite guys I've been watching lately. I've been really into Elden Ring and Elden Ring content. I first started with Lil Aggie, and then they were doing like bingo with Star Chris, Domo, Mitriz, Sadef. I'm missing somebody and I forgot. At one point there was Blueberry Brioche. Really fun stuff. I've been watching him for a little while now, for like a year or two. And no, a year, maybe two. I'm not sure. And then I found Bushy, because he was also in bingo. And then lately he's been doing that. He just started this challenge like a few days ago, and he's already on like weapon number 7 or some crap. He's really good at the game. Nope, stop. Okay.
And I can also that you're not. Then why not? I am Carling.
So yeah, and he was doing this challenge. Super cool challenge. Now I've thought about using every weapon, but like new game every time. Not new game plus, just new game. But new game plus sounds like fun, because then you get up to like new game plus 400, you know, plus 200. Not technically, because it's, you know, it stops the scaling at new game plus 7. Scaling stops at 7, so... But it would still be cool to have an account that's... or a character on here that has new game plus 350, you know? 400. Quiet. But yeah, I think it would be really cool. I just really just love that idea. Plus, it challenges me to actually learn the game better. Because um, I did beat, I think, most or all the bosses at least legitimately once or twice. Like, I'm talking like Mo, Placidus Axe, and all them. Um, like I've beaten the game and everything at least a few times. I've platinumed the game,
Have you they, sir? But you,
and
I can
every
put
time
turning
I
water
try to
80
try a
only
new
go to the
thing,
foot.
I just kind of cheese everything
Then
and
it's
get
summon
super
me.
duper
I
powerful.
bequeath. It will
And
summon
I
torrents.
was,
Has
you
treat
know,
him with. Shall I let my hand share them with me?
I justify that
Your thoughts, your ambition.
by basically saying like, yeah, these weapons are like super duper great. So, you know, it's worth being level 60 to kill Margaret, and that's not really a challenge. Like, sure, I mean, the game allows you to do it, but as a true Elden Lord, one must set boundaries. Oh, on Twitter, my post, I put a Twitter post. I did say I could only cheese one boss. So this, I was talking to my son about this. I started a run, and I spun Iron Cleaver. Horrible weapon, absolutely horrible weapon. Not bad poise, but you got to get that R2 down. It's so dumb. But since it's a smithing stone weapon that could be infused, I had to roll the build stat wheel roll, uh, and I got faith, so it was a faith based iron cleaver. So I've been basically using a sacred seal, a sacred blade for everything, and you know, just, and since that's my damage stat, so I just got the base stats for wielding the weapon, and then everything else goes into faith, endurance, vigor, the other stuff. And
Oi!
you there?
Could
You
you
help us out, Cully. What the hell am I doing? What am I going over here for? I'm doing my regular rounds, and I shouldn't be doing my rounds. Yeah, so I made that character, went Iron Cleaver, and I cheesed, like I said, I just cheesed everything. The first thing I did was, you know, I did my whole rounds, collecting all the golden runes, getting all the sacred tears, you know, golden seeds, and early easy bosses. And then I went up to, you know, Caelid, and then what I do is I cheese Grail, the flying dragon on the bridge. I cheese him to make him fall off the tree, because fighting him on that bridge is BS. And then using the same golden foul foot, I run down to the Knight's Cave on that bridge and make him jump off. So I get a total of like 160,000 runes. And then with the same foot, after I beat that boss, or like cheese that boss, I just kind of make the ball down at the down the road there, make him fall off the edge, and, you know, just, it's not really cheese, it's just farming that until the golden foot's done, and it's usually around 170,000 runes by the end of that. And then come back down here to Limgrave and collect more stuff, get the patches, beat patches, buy his golden foul foots, And then she's Grail, the dragon you usually bleed. Get enough stats to be okay, and then I go and get the golden scarab, because I should be strong enough to beat those guys by then. Golden scarab my way to the putrid avatar right next to the rotted dragon Grail by that Dectus medallion hat. And what am I saying? Oh, and then I legitimately kill the putrid avatar. He's super simple once you know the like moveset. Super easy, even when it uses golden land. It's super simple fight. It just takes a little while when you're low level. And if you Scarab and Golden Foulfoot, he drops like 160,000 rooms by himself. Really cool, super duper cool. And then, you know, by the end of that, you're like level 66 or something, 67, 68 maybe, depending on what class you started with. And then you're ready to, you know, just destroy the rest of the lands between. So I did that with my Iron Cleaver Faith run. And my son suggested that that's cheesy. He didn't, well, I guess he didn't suggest it. He just, you know, commented. And I interpreted the way he reacted to me telling him what I did as a negative feeling. So I kind of just sat there and thought about it. And it's not really a challenge run if my first run isn't challenged, right? I didn't really challenge myself, that I kind of just boosted myself to that toppest level would be, you know, highest stats I could possibly get. Did I aggro that big bear? That'd be the first time I aggroed the big bear in a long time since they patched that out. But yeah, his reaction made me feel like it was too cheesed. It was too cheesy.
Yes, right
And
this way. Right
so I
this
decided
way.
just to make a whole new run.
Please, I'm hungry.
With that run, I got pretty dang far. With that run, I did almost everything before you burn the tree. Almost. Like, I'm just at consecrated snowfields, about to hit the Halig tree. You know, and everything else down below is just basically picked clean. I decided he's kind of right, because I was going to try and compensate for what I've began with by just making the next run, New Game +1, a full clear of the game, like all bosses legitimately killed, no cheeses whatsoever. And then sitting there thinking about it, it's not really a challenge run if you start off with a maxed out weapon at level like 150, even if it's New Game Plus. It's just New Game +1. It's not overly challenging because you're basically a god at that point. So I mean, full clearing the game legitimately is, yes, sure you're doing it, but like you're doing it as, you know, Elden Lord. You're not doing it as a tarnished. I'm supposed to be picking up tree spear. I'm going to get electrify armament. Blood flame blade. This is my regular rounds, by the way. I usually pick up everything. But I'm usually like killing bosses on the way, like the pumpkin head over there. Pumpkin head, I'll kill that guy because he's an easy like 1200 runes. Oh, I was gonna make this quick. Okay, I'm going to the Bridge of Sacrifice. Pick up Bridge of Sacrifice, Grace, go up to Gatefront, do all that stuff up there, get to Stormhill Shack, and then work my way to going to get the Tree Spear. Because what I'm doing is getting stats. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing all this, like, running around. Like, I was doing it subconsciously, but now that I actually put my brain into it, it is smart what I'm doing. At least it's smarter. I don't think I'm gonna restrict myself for not using ash, spirit ash. I think I'll allow myself to use spirit ashes. I don't see why not. Like, yeah, I guess there's an argument to be made that that's not challenging or whatever. But I'm also not Bushy or Gino or Aggie. I'm not those guys. I know you could only be those guys by practice, right? Whatever. But even with practice, like, even with all this practice and all these hours in the game, I got like 2 bosses down pat. Tree Sentinel, Putrid Avatar. Or avatars in general, just the avatar, that's true avatars. That's the 2 bosses I got down pat. Because I'm not a good, you know, speedrunner kind of guy where I'm, you know, super duper good at the game. I could beat most things at level 20, 30, or, you know. So I'm not the greatest. Oh, I'm supposed to run.
Everyone only to have that, you know, it's quite them.
Ouch. Oh, sitting cross-legged on my chair. That hurt my ankle.
I want to nothing.
Nothing but a crayon.
Can you take the pot and it'll be glad.
Oh.
It was tell them I love them fine again.
Okay. Okay, let's run up. Tree Spear. This first video is just me yapping and running. Running and yapping. Like, I should make this like an hour long, but it's getting late and I need to lay down. So I kind of have to get off soon. And this first video is just literally just me running and yapping. It's not going to be very long. It's not going to be very interesting. But it's the beginning of our journey and adventure. Or our journey, and it will turn into an adventure. And the destination is fun. Because the destination is the adventure, the journey, the path, not the goal. Or the end. The goal is not the end. The goal is an abstract thought of fun and awesome and cool. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It is currently midnight, and I got work tomorrow. Whoops. Habit. I watched Jacksepticeye do that when this game first came out. Well, I guess I didn't watch him until after I played the game myself first. Did you know I didn't play Elden Ring for a full year after it was released. Because I didn't have the money for it. And I couldn't just, you know, didn't have the internet, didn't have the money for it. So I just waited. And eventually, I got my Starlink. And it's been no problem whatsoever. And a few other things, I was able to afford the game. Where am I going? Am I big dumb? Am I big old dumb? Why am I over here? Tree Spear's over there. Man, I'm tired. My yapping is just distracting me. Oh, actually, it's not a bad... Not a bad thing.
You surprised no matter why, don't. Oh, but don't.
Sell. Purchase. Okay. Run over here. Go get Tree Spear. And then I think I'll warp to Third Church of America. Run up to Rot View Balcony. Go to Caled Ruins. Go up to Dragon Barrel West. Grab the Dragon Barrel map. Cheese the only boss I could cheese. And then we'll be done with this first video. I think that's a plan for right now, because I'm tired. I hope the audio isn't horrible for the video. Might just have to do though. Excuse me, Mr. Troll. Don't mind me. Okay. I think after this, I'll do a somewhat region lock as well. Since, you know, I had to go to Caled, or I wanted to go to... Yeah, I actually have to go to Caled so I could actually wield the weapon and do any real damage. Because I'm not a masochist and just decide to, you know, destroy as much bosses as I can in Limgrave to get the levels. Interesting. Tree Spear. Tree Spear? I wonder if... Let's see. Tree Spear, Ash of War, Golden Vow. Later on I could probably get the spell Golden Vow, which would do a little bit more. Maybe Flame grant me strength? Blood Flame Blade and Electrify Armament, so I'm gonna need Memory Stones. And then once we get to Liurnia, I think I'll be a high enough level in Faith to use the Erd Tree Seal instead of the Finger Seal, and then I'll start leveling that as well. as my tree spear. I don't think that's a bad idea, actually. Sure, it's like supposed to be region locked, but I'll be technically stuck after I do Abductor Virgin. And abduct me to Volcano Manor. And just, you know, go through it until I could hit at the Grace. Or maybe I'll click the Somber Stones, 5 and 6. You know, do the bridge. And once I do the bridge, that's when I'll be able to get the, yeah, I'll have to do the bridge before I get the seal. Anyway. Ooh. And while I'm in Liurnia, I could go get 2, 3. Caelid down here, there's 4. Volcano Manor has 5 and 6. 7 if I go and beat the Godskin Noble. Not gonna be able to do that for a while though, I don't think. So I'll just have to full clear Weeping, Limgrave, and Liurnia. This is gonna take a while.
Well, it's been a... How can I?
Okay, I will not be going to Roundtable Hold until I kill Margit.
If you had, it seems torrent, whereas I'm there is, but I can take gathering.
The reason for that is because I think originally you can't get the Roundtable Hold until after you kill Margit anyway. If you were to do it linear. And I think I want to do that. Not a bad idea. So I'll just be basically beating Weeping and Limgrave with a +3 tree spear. Doesn't sound super bad. Especially if I have high faith. Not gonna be bad at all. Oh, come on. No. Man. I clicked my punch button and it wasn't punching. I don't think I was pressing it hard enough. Controller's getting a little worn out. So you just Grace, no running, you just walk till you get to the tree, then you sit at the edge of this bad boy. Keep your camera pointed a little bit this direction so that you could see him going around the corner, and once you see kind of like his arm jump, turn around, run crouched all the way around behind him, and sit over here, because I see that Gino Machino usually sits like right behind him, but it usually gets me to jump across, go right behind him, punch him off the edge. The only boss I will cheese. Okay. 22 decks. Faith. Okay, I can now properly wield the weapon. Okay. Oh. Ooh. I like that R2. That's a cool R2. Anyway, now that that's done, I'll get to 8 and 9 later. Oh, gonna do this real quick. But yeah, this will be the end of the video. You know, beginning of the adventure. Crap.
Well, you're...
Beginning of the adventure, and we are looking at goods. 143 plus 92 holy damage. That's not bad. Actually, let's kill Tree Sentinel before we get off here. I just want to test the damage. You know me? I want to test his damage out. I didn't get the charge talisman. I walked right by it. Okay. Ow. Okay. 1, 2, jump. Charge R2. Jump. Regular R2. Charge R2. Oops. Ooh. Half charge. Jump. Slam. Jump. Charge R2. Charge R2. 300 damage. That's not super bad. I could do the same thing with the axe on the hero though. So that doesn't make this very great, actually. Interesting. Well, I actually don't know how to feel about that damage. Maybe I should have used Sacred Order to do something. That probably would have boosted up the damage a little bit more. But yeah. Not a bad beginning at all. Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep it on. Anyway, thanks for watching. In the next one, we'll be doing some clearing. Goodbye. I said, okay, bye. See you later, bye. Love you, bye.